children, sitting up in your seats. Absolutely no talking. You're children of 1925 and will act as such. Passing by the village school, I decided to enter, and I heard the schoolmaster give the following lesson. Now, children, I'm about to speak to you about the virtues of life, and in doing so, I will use your fingers to impress upon your memory. I will call it the 5-finger lesson, not only because you use your fingers, but you will always have this lesson at hand. Now, I would like each and every one of my students to raise your hand and take your forefinger and touch your thumb and repeat after me. Honesty. Honesty is to be real. It's not to let the outside look good when the inside is not so. Now on to our second finger and repeat after me. Truthfulness. We must get on with the love of the truth. If you have something to say it out boldly and do not be afraid of the consequences of telling the truth. Now on to our third finger and repeat after me. Punctuality. When you are late, you make others late. Lord Nelson, the great admiral, said, being 5 minutes early made him what he was today. Now on to the fourth finger and repeat after me. Cleanliness. You can change the worst character by being kind, not giving up what you know is right, and in the end, you will succeed. Be moderate in eating and drinking, and always stop when you've had enough. And now on to the fifth finger, and repeat after me. Kindness. We can change the worst character by being kind, not giving up what we know is right, and in the end, we will succeed. Now, I want each and every one of my students to keep these 5 good resolutions in mind. And if you do, you will feel really good at night, knowing that the 5-finger lesson has been truly valuable to each and every one of you.
What an experience. Dana Stavinga from the Wilson MacDonald Memorial School Museum. Oh, you know what? That's a lot of work, just putting all of that in the chalkboard, let alone you do these presentations practically weekly, monthly into schools, and this is a little taste of what you will get with Dana if you head on over to the Wilson MacDonald Memorial School Museum. Tell me a little bit about Wilson MacDonald.
So Wilson MacDonald, he was a local poet. He, of course, was born in the village of Cheapside. And as a young boy, he had a real love of poetry. His father, of course, was a preacher, a lay preacher, so he instilled in him a real love of poetry. And he would take him out on walks and stuff, and they would enjoy the nature together. And he always said that was better than his dad buying a ticket and taking him to the circus or something else. They would have that one-on-one personal time together. And, you know, Wilson MacDonald did not get as much acclaim here as he did in places like Moscow. They loved him over there. They loved his poetry. He himself thought of himself as a real genius. And a lot of the other poets, they did not, of course, like him so much because he thought of himself as better than what they were. But it wasn't until 1967 when he did pass on that he got his acclaim. They went and they put a provincial plaque up in honor of him. And of course the Wilson MacDonald Museum, because that was his hometown, was named after him.
Wow, and in Haldimand County.
And in Haldimand County, and we feel so honored to be able to preserve, of course, the history. And if you were to come out, you would be able to see some of his books that we've done, of course.
This is amazing.
Caw Ballads, and he's done The Lyric Year and A Flagon of Beauty. He's done so many books. And you know, the big thing is we have so many people go, and of course they want to see his poetry. And they will call me up at the museum and say, Dana, can you go and, you know, tell me the Song of the Prairie Land, you know? And they'll give me different lines or something and expect me to try to, of course, figure out what poem it is. So we went ahead.
Don't you know? Of course you know.
Of course,
she knows
yes.
them all.
So through Haldimand County, they were so great at going and helping me to download all of his books. So we have all his books now online that people can go in and, of course, download themselves and be able to look at them.
Unbelievable. And how long have you been the curator? Because you are so passionate about preserving school history and education and local education.
I have been very lucky. I have been the curator of the museum for 31 years. And
That's amazing. And you, of course, she knows all the poetry then. Yeah.
I absolutely love it because no day is the same. Of course, you know, one day you will be doing exhibits, another one you may be doing events, another one educational programming, children's workshops, adult workshops. So, you know, we try, of course, to go in partnership with all different people in the community. So the River Arts Festival, for example, we will be going down there and we will be doing, of course, a children's workshop.
Beautiful. Okay, so you obviously curate different exhibits. You've got 3 main exhibits at the museum right now. Tell me a little bit about them.
So we have a permanent exhibit, of course, and that's on early education in Ontario with the settlers coming in, clearing the land, a little bit about Edgar Ryerson establishing the school system, and of course the closing of the one-room schoolhouse in around the mid-50s, early 60s. And I bet you did not know that in 1920, of course, Haldimand County had 79 one-room schoolhouses. So it's pretty exciting, of course, to go and to have people come in, and they will talk a little bit about what it was like when they went to a one-room schoolhouse. And then, of course, we have the younger generation come in, and they're pretty excited because they want to see pictures of their grandparents that went to school. And, of course, we put together a book, and I'm pretty excited about this project.
It's exceptional.
So we did this thing, and we launched it, and it was Remember the One-Room Schoolhouse, Help Keep the Memory Alive. So we've put together books on all of the townships that exist in Haldimand County, and what we've tried to do is to be able to have people come in and have the opportunity to look at pictures of when they went to school or their grandparents went to school, and just to be able to have a little bit of history.
And it's so neat because it's not only classroom shots. I saw kids dressed up in Halloween costumes and all sorts of things. This is quite a collection. It's like you're more than a museum. You've turned into almost like an archives as well, right?
Yes.
So some of the things, now you are located here in Haldimand County, but you have sister museums too.
Yes, we do. So we have the Embro Square Heritage and Cultural Center in Caledonia, and it was an old town hall, and we're very excited to be affiliated with them. And they have actually an old jailhouse that's in the bottom of.
So when kids are really bad, they went to jail or what? No, I'm kidding. Well, I know you brought your strap too.
I brought my strap. And then we've got the Haldimand County Museum and Archives that's located in Cayuga. And Karen Richardson, she's the curator there, and she is so knowledgeable when it comes, of course, to a lot of the archival
I was going to say something like this would be right up there.
Yes,
okay.
And of course, Ann Uni, of course, is our supervisor of Heritage and Culture, as well as the curator of the Embro Square Heritage and Cultural Museum. And I am so blessed to be able to work with these ladies on a regular basis and to really promote the rich history that we have and culture in Haldimand County.
Well, I am so lucky that, Dana, you have taken time with us to chat. You exude such passion and enthusiasm for what you do. We need more people like her, don't we? And your students, how often do you, when school is in session, are you on tour? What do you do? I feel like you're a one-woman road show. You're amazing.
So, you know, we try to keep busy with the kids. When they come in, what we want to try to instill in them, of course, is rural history, and of course talk a little bit about education, what it was like when students went to the one-room schoolhouse, and give them a real taste. And we encourage them, of course, to come in costume. So they dress up in costume. We encourage the parents as well to come in costume. And of course, they serve as our senior students. And the younger ones, they, of course, are our regular students. And I try to intersperse with both, the connection.
I love it. Okay, and so people know when they're coming to visit you, where exactly are you located?
So we are located, of course, on the beautiful, nestled in among Lake Erie, 2 miles west of Selkirk, and that is our little hidden gem, our one-room schoolhouse.
Beautiful. So And also, when people are coming to visit you, we've got to talk of time of year. You're open from March until about December. You take a little bit of a winter holiday, not much time off.
No. So.
And the best way to find more about you for hours, that sort of thing, best would be to go to the Haldimand County website.
Yes.
haldimandcounty.on.ca. And if you click museums, you will see your museum and your sister museums, I believe, are in there as well.
Yes, they are.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Dana. And I hope I'm not going to get in trouble anymore.
Remember, whatever you do, do with your might. Things done by halves are never done right.
What she said. Thanks, Dana.